Hello, welcome back to Sokobond Express. Alright, you might hear some sounds in the background, but like that's just vehicles moving outside. Yeah, hopefully that isn't too much of a problem. I feel like with the music here, because the music is really soft, you can't really hear it. I should turn it up, because I really like the ambience of the music. But yeah, what I'm hearing in my headphones is actually a lot louder than what you're hearing. That's because I toned down the I didn't actually tone down the sound. The sound is actually as loud as it possibly can be. Maybe it's just my voice is not being that loud. Oh well. Let's keep moving. Last episode we finished Pi. A very nice section detailing well, a mixture of mechanics. So yeah, now we're gonna do Row, which I expect to be challenge levels. Oh no, it's the loop puzzles. Yeah, we haven't seen loops in a while. Yeah, let's try loop puzzles then. Alright, sorry. Alright. So basically the start and end point is the exact same. Let's try I'll start forming any molecule here. I do know touching this forms a molecule immediately. And that is always true because O and N are always going to touch each other. This will only be not true if this happens. Yeah, a double bond then forms between C and O, which prevents O from bonding with N. But probably not intended. Could be intended though. Maybe it's something like this. Oh yeah, this actually seems right. This seems exactly right. So what happened there is, can I prove that this is wrong no matter what? Well, I can't prove that it's wrong, but I can prove that this puzzle is unsolvable at this state. And the reason is because after this point, I can choose to go up or go down to collect one of these two, but I can't do both. Once I go up, the bottom is completely stuck. I have to go this way and that would, that would end the puzzle. And the same works down here. So yeah, doing this is wrong. Same for doing this and doing this for the exact same reasons. So I have to do something like this. Like this. Okay. Great start. Alright, apple slices turn brown thanks to the oxygen reacting with chemicals spilling out of the apple cells. You can start the reaction by soaking the slices in salt water or popping them in the fridge. Salt water, so that's why that works. Alright, it's level 2. Okay, this looks like O-N-O-N-O, I think? Yeah, O-N-O-N-O, something like that. But obviously this doesn't work because we don't actually touch the oxygen there. But if we did, that probably would help. Yeah, this doesn't work. Maybe this is better. Yeah, this is probably better, right? Yes, alright. So it was O-N-O-N-O. Nice. And I derived that structure from a similar recurring structure in the previous levels of O-N-O-O-N-O, which is like the same thing, but two O's in the middle, which has shown up multiple times, which is why I was sort of familiar with there being just multiple N's and O's in the level. Anyway, yeah, this sort of property occurs in like water and hydrogen peroxide also, where it's two H's on the side and O's in the center. The more O's you put in the center though, the more unstable the molecule becomes. And the instability of the molecule basically makes it not exist. So water is pretty stable, that's why you can drink it. That's why it acts as a solvent in a lot of things. But hydrogen peroxide is really reactive. It is also toxic, but that's not the point. It's really reactive. And the reason is because that HOOH structure is not very stable. And the more O's you put in there, the less stable it becomes. Anyway, mosquitoes can detect carbon dioxide in our breath, letting them know where to find us. By holding your breath won't let you hide. They can also track us using skin odor. Yeah, so mosquito repellent, which is actually a misleading name, hides that skin odor. It doesn't actually repel mosquitoes, it hides that scent from us. So, yeah. I guess this first sentence might explain why it sometimes doesn't work, but maybe this is not like a huge factor in how mosquitoes find us. Maybe it's skin odor that's majority of how mosquitoes find us, which is why, you know, sometimes it works. Alright, moving on. Okay, bridge. Okay, it's possible I go this way and then wrap around. So this is also a recurring structure, it's H-O-N-O. Right, so I guess I need to take one of the O's first, go around, collect the N, and then collect the O. Yes, I think this should be it. Yeah, that should be it, alright. I just had to recognize what structure I was going to make and everything fell into place. H-O-N-O. Contrary to popular belief, having plants in your home does almost nothing to purify the air. They are lovely little companions though. Yeah, I would expect that. The rate at which plants convert carbon dioxide into oxygen is not very high, and even then it only does it to carbon dioxide. I'm most certain it does nothing to other pollutant gases. Like, does it work with carbon monoxide? I'm not sure. Which is why forests are so important. It's because they have huge land masses, huge masses of trees, which is generally what is producing oxygen for us. Yeah. They're fun to have around. Alright, level 4. Okay, 1 electron belonging to C. So what happens here is that C loses that electron until it touches this, which you can do like that. Okay. This is a structure we've seen in the first level, right? Isn't the first level like the exact structure? Yeah, it's this kind of structure. Is it always true? This is the one that we want, yeah. It's HCNOO. Is that the only structure that can exist? Or is there another structure? If we were to follow that logic, HCN and then 2 O's at the bottom. One with an N first seems plausible, I think. Like, this seems plausible. Right? Well, yes, at first, but I suppose we can then notice that if this actually did happen, we can't ship on the O down there. Okay, I can also be with the C instead. But once again, that prevents a lot of things from happening. In fact, after this point, maybe the better option would be one of N instead. And then make a loop around. Yeah, this looks cool. That works. So basically, what happened there was that after this structure, I still need the electron to be a bond with H, because without that I can't bond with H. But I can do a little fancy trick of moving up here first. So this doesn't actually block my path because the molecule is a bit taller than my space. And what that means is that I can barely snag the electron on top. And that is a trick that appeared once before in like a level a while ago. I think it was in like a cyan-ish region. I don't know if I can find that for you, but it's somewhere in here. I think it's in Zeta 5. Yeah, so in this level, basically, what happens is, because of this, I actually didn't see this, but you can actually use the height to snag the electron and then bond. So it uses that mechanic twice, which is really cool, firstly, but also, I didn't even... wow. That level stumped me for quite a while. Anyway, I didn't read the hint, the thing for this, so let's see how that works. Fruits like apples and bananas need ethylene gas to ripen. Apples are so sensitive that it can... apples are so sensitive to it that they can use the ethylene given off by a neighboring banana to ripen themselves. I didn't know bananas gave off ethylene. Oh, maybe you know what? Bananas probably produce it to ripen naturally. You know, that makes sense. And then apples ripen beside bananas. Interesting. But like, how is this ever useful? I guess maybe it depends, because you probably shouldn't put apples and bananas in the same like area in an orchard. Maybe? I have never in my life seen like apple trees and banana trees side by side though, so I think like that's a pretty much secured fact that you shouldn't do that. Anyway, final one. We have a rotation. So how this works is, once you bond, moving up here causes the whole molecule to sort of rotate around this bend. If it's a longer molecule like, oh jeez. If it's a longer molecule like this, oh, a lot of things happen. First, I can't even do anything there. I guess that means we just can't bond here. That forms water instantly. So like, oh, that was bricks. Dang. Okay, it all just breaks. Anyway, what was I trying to do again? Well, there's a bridge. So maybe I can... I can't collect that immediately. I can't go here, right? Because if I did this, do any kind of bond, and then go around, I can't come back. So maybe the point is to go up here and then come back? Like this? Somehow? How is that useful? No, that's not good. That breaks. Yeah, how is this bridge useful to us? Like if I went the other way around, like for example. Oh, I guess I can go down here and then wrap back around and go this way. That's one way of using that bridge, I guess. So yeah, that trick was this down here first, okay. Now I don't want to bond H immediately because that forms a full molecule already. More likely I want to bond with N first. So do I somehow... do I somehow want like something like this maybe? That seems to be slightly useful. Oh, that forms a full molecule as well. Okay. What doesn't form a full molecule? Does this not form a full molecule? Oh, that doesn't. Okay. Maybe that's what I want, right? Maybe I want to do that. Yeah, maybe by doing that I can then do this and go around. That could be another use. That forms a full molecule though, I don't like that. Okay. So how about instead of below, I do on the side? Maybe that's more useful? I don't know. I mean, being on the side does that. Does that help? It's like it could. Oh my goodness, that's a full molecule. It unfortunately fails. Sorry. Because it's the first time we've seen this, but atoms outside the player don't actually solve the puzzle. Yeah. So it's close, but not quite. So you have to form another rotation, maybe? Maybe like this? That seems to be good. Okay. Wow. What a random... Okay, sure. The sun emits a stream of charged particles known as the solar wind. If these ions bash into oxygen and nitrogen in our upper atmosphere, they create a glow known as the aurora, which is also green for some reason. I went to look this up because I had to write some... well, I wanted to write some form of story about auroras changing color. It turns out auroras can change color, and in rare cases, auroras can turn red or purple depending on what the ions hit. Yeah, it forms sort of like colored. These ions are sort of colored, which is why, you know, auroras are green. But if you hit different elements or different molecules, you get different colors, which is why auroras can sometimes be a different color. Alright, what's the intended shape? It was that, so I guess I hit the intended. Nice. Alright, that was fast. That was not challenging at all, but probably was a reintroduction of the looping mechanic. Okay, so now we're back at the... Well, we've made a whole loop around here. We're back at this area. This area is one there to begin with, but... We could try going into oxygen first because that's where she leads into. Or we could try going hydrogen because that's the most basic. If I went hydrogen next, then I guess in order of atomic number, after hydrogen comes carbon, after that nitrogen, after that oxygen. I would guess because you don't actually need that sort of knowledge for this kind of puzzle, there is no intended order here, except maybe oxygen first. Can I see what oxygen has in store? Whoa, okay. 2 trains that I assume can do this. Yeah. Yikes. Okay, does 2 trains also exist here? 2 loops. Oh god, that's even worse. Actually, yeah, okay. I can probably start with like hydrogen first. Yeah, let's go scientifically in order of atomic number. 2 loops is probably not too much different from 2 regular trains. And you know what? I'm gonna say this looks a lot more complicated. I do not want to touch that. Let's go here first. Alright, what can we ascertain from here? It is 2 loops, right? It can't be this and then this because they can't cross. Also, we don't have to deal with moving particles at once. So if something like this happened, you know, a crash could occur. Anyway, this would even be correct. This path blocks us. So it is 2 loops. You can't cross into the other train's track. But if it were 2 loops, an interesting thing is, what sort of molecule would you form? Also, what happens if you happen to form the same molecule then move away? Oh, I guess... Oh, interesting. I guess bonds can't form between 2 trains. Interesting. Okay. Good to know. I guess that prevents any sort of like entanglement from happening. That still does not answer my question though. I could make oxygen... Oh, you know what? I could just make oxygen. I don't know why I thought this was impossible. But obviously I could do that. I could also make hydrogen like this. And I guess this breaks, but hopefully by this point maybe... Oh, I already collect that. I don't like that. I collect that already. If I did this... This also breaks, but... So if this happened, right, then like nothing good can really happen except forming a water. But if that happened, then how does this even do anything, right? Like you basically form its own loop, but nothing happens here. And there is an actual molecule here, but not there. So this doesn't work. Yeah, the X there indicates that it's a failure. So it has to be an oxygen and a hydrogen, I think. Like an O2 and an H2. But the problem is, how do I create that? Because, you know, I can't walk into here without first having that happen. So it's like, I need to do this. Maybe if I walked around a long way, the bond occurs... Oh, wait, hold on. Is there a confusion here? There might be a confusion here. No, there is a bond being formed. I don't know why it doesn't show up immediately, because the bond does form at this point. It shows the bond afterwards. Okay, but in this case, because this H has already hit this H, the bond already has been formed, so this oxygen doesn't actually bond with this, which allows a movement like this. Alright, that solves it. And okay, I know this form... Oh, wait, no, that might be an issue. There's no collision here, but there is one here. Yes, because you move too fast. Okay. That is a problem. Okay. This is still correct though. Maybe I need to make things a bit longer. Like maybe I need to form some really long path? Or maybe it's not supposed to be on the side, it's supposed to be on the side like this. Like this maybe? Yeah, that seems... Oh. Wait, what? What? Why? Am I not on the other side? Hold on. Oh, it's because you go too far. This bond... Oh, okay. So I guess this has to happen immediately. And then this can happen. Okay. This prevents that, and I can just go around like this. Alright, that is really odd. But we understood most of that. Yeah, this has to not be in the way of this oxygen. But that's entirely possible, so... Great. 2 molecules. Double trouble completely level with 2 molecules. Okay, cool. The value of scrap copper is so high that thieves will strip it out of building materials, wiring, and plumbing. The damage they cause is often... The damage they cause often vastly outweighs the value of the metal. That is quite unfortunate, but unfortunately the thieves don't really care. They just steal and they go. But interesting. I didn't know this is one way. Because obviously one way a building can be destroyed is through just sheer negligence of building. And, you know, the value of scrap copper can also be attributed to that because the cost of building materials, wiring, and plumbing then becomes so expensive that that companies become negligent and don't buy enough materials for a building to hold itself up. But apparently, according to this, thieves can also steal these materials, which can, okay, yeah, that is unfortunate. I'm not sure Yeah, okay. Alright, let's keep moving. H2. Alright, 2 more loops here. What are we building? We can build 1 water and 1 hydrogen, that looks like. Okay, I see that this is not gonna work. Because if it did work, how would a bond with that hydrogen actually do anything? Can something different be done here? No. Well, it can if you went around like this, right? Doesn't this just work? Alright, it does. Very nice. In pursuit of the perfect beer foam, a handful of North American breweries started adding a cobalt compound to the product, which ended up killing a number. Okay, this is just depressing news. Is this entire section just depressing news with chemistry? Okay. I mean, I guess. Sure. H3. Two loops. This is actually just yeah, okay, this is an exemplification of how trains do not bond with each other. But it looks like we're forming... well, we're forming ammonia on one and nitrogen on the other. So nitrogen on one, which can probably be done like this, and then the other one forms ammonia of some sort. Okay, so probably we want 1 left, 1 right, 1 above. Okay, let's do the one above like here. And then 1 left and 1 right. There you go. Okay, this is actually kind of cool. I don't think we'll ever... not we'll ever, but I don't think we have yet met puzzles where colliding with each other is... where trains colliding with each other becomes a problem. But eventually we'll probably meet that. Fingerprint residue is made from sweat and other skin secretions. As well as using the prints to identify someone, we can detect things like caffeine in their blood. What? Fingerprint residue? Oh. Okay, I don't see how these two statements are related in any way. Besides, you know, the fact that they're both forensic. Unless you count skin secretions as blood, I guess. Ah, interesting. So you're saying that fingerprint residue can detect chemicals in the blood? I see. I always thought fingerprint residue comes from like dirt on your hands. But you know what? Yeah, no, that makes sense. Like sweat and skin secretions do show up on your hands at some point, so fingerprint residue can in fact, you know, do that. I don't know how blood gets on your hands unless, you know, you do some gruesome sort of crime. But I suppose that works. Alright, H4. Yeah, like fingerprints don't really help with DNA, do they? Alright, we got an ion. Fingerprints can't actually detect DNA unless, you know, they use your sweat, which does exist on fingerprints, I guess. But generally how fingerprints work is that everyone has a different fingerprint, which is why... alright, this might be a loop outside, like 1 loop inside, 1 loop outside. That seems plausible. So 2 waters, I think, is what we're making here. This seems good for a start. No, because how would I collect this oxygen with this track? Basically, all of this blocks us. And bonding with hydrogen fails. So maybe the point instead is 1 hydrogen peroxide. Oh, could this be? Could this be an example of bonding with another train's exit? Okay, well, I want to figure out how this hydrogen does anything. Like, to actually bond with any oxygen at all. Well, I was wondering if that's the case, but that might not be the case. Right? Because once again, this could be hydrogen peroxide, this could just be hydrogen gas. H2. Could also be 2 hydrogens. I think the hint would show us both. And their structures as well. Okay. If I just do this, right, very little can happen afterwards. Wait, this can happen, but you know, the loop is kind of broken after that. This is a great start, but we already know this is wrong. Alright, let's start the inside and see where we can go from there. If we were to avoid all the hydrogens, then this has to happen. Yeah, that breaks. That just breaks, I think. That just straight up breaks. Because we are basically avoiding that now. So I think we do have to form hydrogen gas of some sort. Meaning this has to be hydrogen peroxide. Unless this is hydrogen gas. This could be hydrogen gas, right? The problem is that if it were to somehow make hydrogen gas, right? How would this hit both oxygens? No, are we to prove that this can't actually hit any oxygen because doing that breaks the other loop? Like, although that may not be true if I did something funny like this. Yeah, that may actually be fine, right? Yeah, so I can do something like this now. This, and then this. Wow, look at that. It's not two loops. It's bonding with each other's exits. Or exiting through each other's exits. That is very cool. Okay. I was thinking of this as a sort of puzzle mechanic. The people who discovered insulin wanted the drug to be affordable for everyone who needed it. Pharmaceutical companies today apparently have no such qualms. That is very depressing. So this is just a bunch of depressing news, I guess. I remember at one point this funny incident that my friend told me about. You know how you can buy checkmark? Can you still? Like on Twitter, or X as it's apparently called now. You could buy checkmarks at one point in time. Like Elon Musk set it to $8 for a checkmark, and some people did the funny thing of pretending to become an insulin company, putting a checkmark to make everyone believe that they were a legitimate company, and then tweeting out the fact that insulin was now free, which, while obviously is good in the, you know, what is that word? Like the overall humanitarian sense, it's good because insulin being free is the goal. It should be free because people need it. It also broke stock markets. Like, I think people just stopped investing in insulin like the moment that tweet came out. Everyone just thought insulin, like, in terms of price, just became worthless. Which kind of broke the stock market one day. It's a funny thing that happened with insulin. But, oh well. Alright, H5. Oh gosh, 2 electrons and a bridge. Okay, this is growing. Fortunately, we're still meeting with only 2 different elements. Unfortunately, this could either be 2 waters, or it could be, again, hydrogen and hydrogen peroxide. We still have 2 ions though, so they must both touch this at one point. However, with a bridge, now we do know that something like this is possible, so they can still meet each other's exits if they wanted to. Okay. How would I... Maybe this is better? This is good for 1, but blocks off the electrons. So maybe I need a bridge for that. Or maybe... Yeah, maybe I can use a bridge for that. This seems doable, I think. No, actually I don't think so. It seems good as a start, but a lot of reasons it fails. I mean, I always look back, but like, you know, this doesn't really work. Yeah. Oh man. Alright, I might actually do this next episode. This is gonna take a while. Alright. Oh, we made some valuable progress. I think what? 9 levels? Good enough. Okay. So yeah, we'll continue this next episode. Until then, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye bye.